counter their things. All right, Mardu Aristocrats, Mardu Hero. It's actually more Mardu Hero than Mardu Aristocrats, right? I'm a liar. Let's call it Mardu Hero. Things to think about at a glance. There are 3 of a lot of cards that I consider very important in this archetype. I think this card's a little bit mediocre, especially without ways to sacrifice things on demand, and the only death triggers being these 2 things. Heroic Reinforcements and Judith allow for some of your best draws possible to happen. I'm going to cut 2 of this card and add a Judith and a Heroic Reinforcements before we jump in. How many lands are in this deck? There's 24 lands. 24 lands is probably fine for the higher curve. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, draw a card. Yeah, that's a strange one. At least, like, Theater of Horrors is, like, a direct way to generate card advantage, but, like, a 5-mana thing that requires you to play spells after it to generate card advantage seems incredibly awkward. Is there 0 removal in this deck? There's zero removal in this main deck, huh? Alright, let's do that. There's no Duress in the sideboard. Let's fix that. Alright. Well, if they didn't submit it as Mardu Aristocrats, they submitted it as Mardu Hero, and I had it improperly named. So, I'm gonna correct. I've corrected the name in the title. Sorry for the false advertisement. I'm pretty much a one-man show, so there's typos on occasion. Or misclassifications that we can fix in the moment. Alright, Mardu Hero. I will say this. So this build of Mardu Hero goes a little bit bigger than some of the other builds that we've played. And maybe that's a good thing. A lot of the builds that we've played that are really low to the ground have felt kind of mediocre and like worse red aggro decks. So the fact that this build is a little bit bigger and trying to play Theater and Elenda and stuff like that, maybe that's a reasonable direction to take it in to make it feel like something meaningful as opposed to just being like a bad version of mono red. Let's hop on in and see how it feels. Very important for aggro not to run out of cards. That's factually incorrect. Aggro, let me teach you the best mindset you can have is playing an aggro deck. The best source of card advantage is killing your opponent with cards in their hand. The best source of card advantage is killing your opponent with cards in their hand. So no, aggro decks don't need a consistent source of card advantage. Aggro decks need a way to apply pressure to end the game before that's relevant. Hey, the young duh. Thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You say that until you mislead. Sure, so you lost the game. Guess what? No deck in Magic wins 100% of the time. You're right. Some of the time your aggro deck's gonna fail to win the game, and it's gonna come up short against a control deck or a combo deck because of that. That doesn't mean the fix isn't shove a bunch of clunky, expensive cards that draw cards into your deck that's supposed to be an aggro deck. The fix is have curves. Have curves. Real decks have curves. I have no idea what the opponent is doing. None. Looked like they might be 2 Memorial to Folly. I'm gonna board in Priest, assuming that they are. Assuming that they're playing green-black. But don't really know what they're doing necessarily. Those are lands that technically cast our spells. Gosh, there's 2 Memorial to Folly in this deck. It is, I mean, I guess that's in line with this deck is more mid-rangey. Sweet, perfect. Exactly like we drew it up. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Now we're the Memorial to Folly deck. Just trade turns, playing Memorial to Follies and conceding. Looks like they are, in fact, still time. Depending on what they play here, this might be a theater turn. If they have, like, a hostage taker, we'll need to mortify that. Chupacabra, rude. Think I just do this to start collecting cards under it. Start getting the theater going. Well, that's vomit-inducing.
Get that out of here.
Yeah, I think putting multiple tap lands in the 3-color deck is greedy. I agree with that, Chalky. It's not my deck list. Get that out of here. Yep.
Balance calls.
We're just super dead at this point, right? Just can never win. They've got board presence advantage. They've got card advantage. Yeah, just solidly into garbage time. Garbage time. Garbage time. Do 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 do. Tajic's not very good for probably not attacking it a lot of the time. Bringing these Bedevils to kill what's her name. Here's the opponent's game to curve out. Graces has a strong back, carries many games across the finish line. Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it and do it and do it and do it again. Do 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 do. God, turn 1 land war elves is like cheating. It's so unfair. Everyone, turn 1 land war. Please nerf turn 1 land war elves, wizards. Hoping to draw lands 3-4 here over the next couple turns. Priest is actually pretty good at enabling Theater of Horrors, huh? Have we played any more with the Is It Jaya deck? We've not. It's actually getting close to the top of the queue again, though. Is Judy. I mean, Vivian's not even that good here, right? Hopefully we draw a land. If we draw a land here, them killing that's not too big of a deal. Okay. That's a good one. I do this. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, the Dusk Rose animation is A+, for sure. I'm probably just gonna keep killing our overcosted things with their big mean removal spells. There's some finality. Finality be kind of brutal here. There's a hostage taker, recast my priest. Just dead. Really? That's greedy. Nope. JK. LOL. You fine. You fine. Zavewise, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, well, that was, a lot of these Mardu decks really feel like Mardon't. Just like, you know what? Why don't you just take a chill for a minute? Mardu. A lot of these Mardu decks, a lot of these Mardu hero decks feel like they fall into the category of this deck is not linear enough to aggro people out of the game most of the time, and it's not interactive enough to prevent itself from getting run out of the game. Hey, Pengu Power, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, the unranked queue was bad television, Marty. There's a lot of non-decks. So the quality of decks in the events have felt okay. They did just mulligan to 3. So I have hope for our hero. Who's excited for them to put Curious Obsession on this and run us out of the game? The Jund Warriors deck was really mediocre. I think it's much, much worse than the Girl Aggro deck, JMM, if you haven't tried that. There is a red-black aggro deck that you can find on my website, jeffhoagland.com. That is my preferred Judith deck. It's basically mono red splash Judith and Theater of Horrors. I like it a lot. Their last 2 cards are dived out as Spellpick. Well, thankfully, we've got heroic reinforcements here. Just go beep beep and run them over a little bit. You're right. I should play around Spell Pierce. I think you could go in either direction, Chalky. I think you should either play the red-black mid-range deck that's on my website or the black-white Aristocrats build that we've played. I think either of those are fine directions to head in. We got chops against the Molda 3 here. Got him on the ropes. Yeah, I think the Black-White Aristocrats deck is actually very good. Been really impressed with that one. Thanks, Odin. Boop, boop. Rooting for Mono Blue here. They were the underdog. I think I want Duress in this matchup. Do not want Theater of Horrors, Trim Glenalindra. Priest is really good in a matchup like this. Just like bring in, yeah, Priest and Duress. I don't think it is, Russia. And if you are gonna play a 3-color aggressive deck, your third color really needs to be more of a splash than what decks like this are doing. So generally speaking, most of the successful 3-color decks, you have base 2 colors, and then you have a third color that's like just at the top of your curve. So a good example of that is the Sultai deck that exists in Standard, right? Like it's a green-black deck with Krasis at the top end and some counter spells in the sideboard. You should pick 2 things to focus in, basically. I don't feel like I can mulligan to interaction because I don't have that much interaction in my deck. They kept 7? This is the part where they like draw 1 drop and then draw land and like double Curious Obsession kill us, right? That's what's about to happen here. It was post-mull to 3 trauma keep. That is 100% what it was. It was, there's only 1 land, but I'm not mulliganing to 3 again. I've had enough of this stuff. Get out of here, Magic. We've all been there, chat. We've all been there. We're sick of Magic and just moving on with our lives. They made their first 4 land drops, chat. I don't know why you were making fun of them. They're on like the next level Galaxy Brain plays here. We're about to die, aren't we? I think we're about to die. I should have attacked to get a 1/1 counter on my lifelink creature, probably. They're about to go land, double obsession, slaughter us. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Boros Challenger here. Just to see if I get the retort out of them. Yeah, I believe we have died. I believe we have died. I mean, and this game is just such a good example of using your cumulative variance to great success, right? Like, our opponent was just coming off of a mulligan to 3. They're, like, very aware that they've used up all of their bad luck for the match. So they're like, you know what? I'm going to keep this 1-lander on the play, and it's going to get there, because I can't possibly be unlucky twice in a row. That's just not how cumulative variance works. Magic's such a great game. Some people are gonna think I'm serious. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Whelp. Whale. Alright, I'm gonna cut these and put in 2 more removal spells. Does mono blue have bad matchups? Yeah, red aggro. The green Growth Chamber Guardian aggressive decks tend to be decent against mono blue as well in my experience. So decks like Temur Domri and Temur Climb, both pretty reasonable. All right, so hopefully if we draw an untapped land in our next 2 draws, we get to go Priest into Hero, into Footlight Fiend, and just dumpster this opponent. Oh yeah, Drake's is bad for blue as well. Angrath's just too expensive. Too many manas. Yikes. Alright, so 10 out of 10, just jamming both these. What rank are we? I think we're like 200 something. We're currently playing in a constructed league to avoid playing medium decks into the ring. Whoa! That loose. Target you. Sacrifice these. Kill that one, kill you, and then this trigger is gonna kill that. Perfect. One of your finest multicolored creatures next turn, please. Would Dive Down have saved their creatures? I'd have targeted. No, I guess that's fair. That's fair. Dive Down wouldn't have done it. I guess they're just like kind of got regardless, right? So we want to draw an untapped land here, so that way we can pick Footlight Fiend back up. Any multicolored creature also is it. Untapped land or multi. That's like exactly what I wanted. Untapped land or multicolored creature. Think I'm just gonna pass here. Thanks, B-Carp. Yeah, I think the last deck that we played in rank, we signed off at like 200 something. We peaked at like 16 today. Yeah, I just don't want to attack into Trickster. Old Tricky Dick will get you every time. I'm holding the Duress because I'm activating Memorial to Folly this turn. And that requires all of my mana. I didn't activate the Priest because I want to use the Priest. I want to use these to get these tokens. There's a precog in their deck. That's interesting. I've seen some of these decks play what's it called in their sideboard? They've played Search for Azcanta. Precog's a little on the chunky side. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is very good in this matchup. Every Priest deck we play, when Priest gets active, you run away with the game in this matchup. Judy! Tutti frutti! Oh, Judy! Tutti frutti! Oh, Judy! Do-do-do-do! Bear-do-do-do! Dunk! love tap, baby, love tap, baby, baby, love tap. Do 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 Judith only triggers on non-token creatures. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, if you haven't seen the Black-White Aristocrats deck we played a few times that you can find on my website, you definitely want to check that out. It's my favorite Priest of the Forgotten God. And someone tweeted a meme. This is great. That's excellent. This hand is kind of mediocre. We just like have heroic reinforcements in our deck that does our hand that doesn't have a curve. Always, as always, getting rewarded for mulliganing close sevens. That's how this works. This curve is very good. Deal. In. London mulligan win, please. Just don't stop punishing me. I just want Magic to tell me I'm smart. Sorry, apologies. I was tweeting middle fingers at the Magic Esports Twitter account. Apologies for the brief delay. This needed to go on Twitter. Apologies. We're full zeros given at this point. All right, what are we doing? I think I'm attacking. I think I'm just attacking with everything here. I'm just gonna attack with everything. I am very pink. You are not wrong. Oh, the Judith attack is bad. This attack is bad. So I was thinking I attack here, they block, I play the other Judith post-combat and shoot their things, but that's not how this is going to work out, right? Where's the light? I feel like we do need one of those at some point. Yeah, I should have just attacked with the other two, because if they would have blocked the other two, I could have played the second Judith and shot their things. We'll do DH Red. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. True Fire Star. So this actually isn't terrible here. So this can mentor, this mentors onto the hero, which lets both of them attack in nicely. I wonder, I'm gonna hold these back for now. So this lets them double up on one of these. It might be possible that I'm supposed to hold up First Strike here on this. The Freak, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate it. Wouldn't be here without all of y'all. This stream is sponsored by you at home. Made possible, in part, by viewers like you. You could maybe argue that I'm supposed to attack with these to disincentivize this block here. I think this is still okay for us. Like, they're going to 10. Actually, they're going to 9, right? Because Judith trigger is going to happen here. PB Jeff is made possible by folks like you. PB Jeff, that is A+. A+, fantastic. Oh yeah, I should have killed one of their crackling drakes, right? Because these get powered up by exile too. That's a good catch. If I do this and attack with everything, they're dead, right? I think so, probably. I don't know, it's not my job to sort it out. We're not the one blocking. And this is like the examples, like when we talk about this archetype, one of the things we talk about very consistently is that like when this deck is able to when this archetype is able to cast its spells every game, it's very, very strong. However, because you're this 3-color aggressive deck, there's a lot of games where you're just not able to do that, unfortunately. I didn't realize it could compare it. That's funny. That's funny. Don't tear into other people. I'm sure the other person is a great Magic content producer. There's a lot of great people that make a lot of great Magic content out there. I'm glad they added Caleb. They actually have one of the biggest Magic streamers there. Caleb's definitely one of the top. I don't know, is this a Priest matchup? How do we feel about Priest in this matchup? I have no idea. I do not know Amaz personally. Priest is good versus Drakes. And maybe I cut this because they're a Spell Pierce deck. Let's do that. Let's cut that because they're a Spell Pierce deck. This Twitter thread explains why Wizard of the Coast won't work with me. I'm done trying to behave on Twitter. I'm just gonna be honest and tweet what I feel. That's why. That's half the reason people pay me anyways, is because I'm honest. I'm honest and upfront about where I stand on things. I tried to be good for a long time, and I still just get middle fingers from people that don't like me, so I'm just off it. Bacon Bolt, that's rude. there are two things in here. So, if I think I'm just gonna play Boros Challenger this turn, and then next turn I can go land Hero Fireblade Artist. Alright, Bacon Bolt's gone, so that's good for us. So we get to do this, and then do this, and then even if they kill this next turn, Judith means I'm still attacking for 5, which is decent. I didn't hero first because they had a Beacon Bolt in their discard pile that would kill my hero before I got to make a token. So by sequencing this way, I guaranteed get a token off my thing. Alright, so I think that means I want a Bedevil here since they have a threat. Attack for 5. Yep. Huh. So do I Tajic here then? I totally just do this, right? Because that's how people are, Chalky. Because they don't have anything specific. They just dislike me as a person, and they want to tear me down. So they're not specific about it. And for a while, I did my best to try and adjust and try and appease more people to a degree. And just at the end of the day, I still just, like, get treated like crap by people because of it. It's just, like, not worth it. Because life's too short. Correct. Being in the public eye is gonna be like that. No matter what I do, I lose, so I might as well just do the things that make me happy. If I'm gonna lose regardless, I'm just gonna be me. Me ask what are my politics? I'm a dirty liberal. They didn't shun me because of my politics. Which is actually really funny because, like, I've gotten super political on stream a number of times, and they could have very easily just been like, we don't want to work with you because you're a dirty liberal and you're political about it, and we don't want any strong political voices in our thing. And I've been like, yep, totally understand. Why no attacks into the Electromancer? Because I don't want to trade 1 token for 3 points of damage. Think I'm just gonna pass here. Poor hero. At least that's a shock that's not hitting Judy, right? Yeah, guess what? If people are upset that I timed them out for breaking my channel rules, they can bugger off. A little bit of moderation's good for you, okay? There's plenty of other places online where you can post your opinions that aren't offensive and, like, spew whatever you want. If all 2,000 people in this chat just posted whatever they want, and so long as it wasn't offensive, I wouldn't time them out, my chat would be useless and I wouldn't be able to communicate with people in a meaningful manner. So, worth noting there, I dealt the 1 damage from Judith to their Electromancer, so that way if they wanted to block one of my tokens, they would be forced to trade. So that way I stay ahead. Because ideally when I deal 1 point to the Electromancer, they then don't block, and then I still get the 1 point from my token hitting them, but I'm up a token. Here's just because we got into the topic of politics. Someone just described someone as an SJW in a negative connotation. If you think social justice, if you think treating people with equality is a bad thing, you probably need to do some self-introspection and think about what that means where you stand as a person. If you're against social justice, you're against treating people equally regardless of what they look like or where they come from, that's probably a bad thing, and you're probably a garbage human being. If you want to treat other people poorly because of what they look like, where they come from, or their religious beliefs. That type of crap is not welcome here. Writing people off as SJWs and using it as an insult is a tactic that people use to put down and make people feel bad that are fighting for equality. And if you're not fighting for equality, you're probably hindering equality. All evil needs to succeed in the world is for good people to do nothing. Never forget that. Your afternoon rant session brought to you by Watch the Esports on Twitter, right? Oh, I guess I could have powered up one of these to mentor the other, but I'd like for them to hit so I can play Judy off of here, right? That's probably better. All you need to do is be excellent to each other. Ain't that the God's honest truth?
No time for a break.
This Theater of Horrors might draw us kicking and screaming across the finish line. So if I hit them for one with this, I can play Blood Crypt and then play Boros Challenger out of my hand. God bless you, moderators. I haven't had to frag a single comment here. Y'all are doing great. Yeah, if they don't hit Kaya's Wrath soon, the third point of toughness on this is super relevant because they play multiple main deck cries, which is a big deal. Keeping these challengers alive through a majority of their sweepers is ideal. Yeah, Moment of Craving too is super relevant. I think I just send all three of these at Teferi. And then I can theater them and then play a land and then cast my theater under the theater. Yo, dog, I heard you like theaters, so we got theaters for your theaters. Audio bug. Audio bug. Do 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 do. These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. Back to your regularly scheduled Magic Arena. What are the odds? Did that second one resolve? I feel like the second one's not resolving. I feel like there's a low chance the second. Hopefully our creatures didn't die when we get back. Alright, the other one didn't resolve. It looks like they cast Chemister's Insight. Ooh, Elenda. There are no mentorees here. He's dead, Jim. You killed him. Alright, so I think at this point, we're just putting the other theater into play and hanging out. Looks like these theaters are going to run away with the game. They didn't have Kaya's Wrath at a really key point, and it looks like we're pulling ahead. Alright. Well, they hit the Kaya's Wrath this turn, but at this point I have enough theaters going that we might be able to power through that. Main deck copy the theater looking real reasonable. Ooh, that's exciting. I wonder how many cries they have in their hand. I agree, the Light Knight. I think that's exactly what happens. I think social justice is objectively a good thing, but a lot of people hear the term and think extremists. I mean, honestly, that type of thinking, right, is in line with the anecdotal type of evidence that you see that leads to results-based thinking in Magic, right? They see one anecdote, one specific example, and they extend what they see there to everyone and everything, right? And that's just like not a good way to be. It's not a good way to go about things, really. So is Elenda good against sweepers or terrible against sweepers? I think I'm inclined to say, thanks, Skittle. Well, thanks for being here, and thanks for keeping me around. I think this card's actually kind of bad here, because, like, a lot of times they're going to, like, kill it before it gets big, or they can exile it, or it's just going to get caught in a sweeper as a 1/1. I think I'm going to hedge on trimming this. I need one more cut here. I'm going to cut Fireblade Artist. Yeah, let's do that. This hand seems fine. Good curve. Discard spell, Boros Challenger Theater. 2 social justice Gruul warriors, please. The switch for Hellkite propelled me into Mystic. Nice, Fraga. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good one. I'm going to lead on Duress on 1 here because I'd like to take a search before they play it. Moment of Craving. That's not very good against this. I think I'm going to take their Mortify, so that way hopefully they miss their 3rd land, and then I can play Theater while they don't have Absorb up. Perfect. Is Esper Control, like, missed my 3rd land drop deck? Doogie! Thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. The Boros Challengers have been pretty okay, actually. They felt pretty reasonable. The fact that they have a 3rd point of toughness, dodging Cry and Moment, has been exceedingly relevant. We are unfortunately 1 mana short of do this and then play the other theater out, which sucks a little bit, but can't complain too much here. We do get to get a land to put the Boros Challenger down. Well, I mean, at least I do get to put another Theater of Horrors into play now, so I've got that going for me. So I get to do this, play a land, play second Theater, and maybe we can power through this. We'll see. They might run us out of the game with the Hostage Takers, although I guess I'm probably going to draw enough creatures for that to not be an issue. We'll see. I assume they want to play the Boros Challenger here, so that way I can't kill their Taker and get it back. Silly opponent. Most of my thoughts are under my Theaters. Yeah, the opponent does see what's under my Theater. So in Magic, unless a card explicitly says to exile something face down, it is always exiled face up. It's a pretty good hit. So, Hero into Footlight. Play all of our lands out for these heroes, these theaters. You just made twice when you're just drawing 3 cards a turn versus the Esper control deck. Thank you. Sorry about that. Did I hit the mute button in time? I think I got to the mute button in time. Alright, what do I want to get absorbed? I think I want this one to get absorbed. I think it's also important that I split up which theaters I'm playing cards from, because, like, a big upside to playing Tajic here is I don't want to leave both my spells under the same theater, so this way if they draw Mortify, which ones they need to address, or like Teferi to tuck, which one they need to tuck is split up. Take me home, Bedevil. Yeah, take me home to the place I belong. Theater of Evil, gonna get 'em. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I need to run to the restroom really quick, and when I get back, we're gonna play another match or two. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Oh, weird. This must be a bug. So, where is it? Tempo. When I click play in here, this happened earlier. If you disconnect during your Constructed League match and come back in, you can't click play. You have to back out, and you have to come back in and hit play, and then it works. I thought maybe that was a one-time thing, but it looks like it happens every time if you restart Arena mid-match in one of these. If Theater of Horror gets tucked, you can no longer play cards that are underneath it. No. It is different from Thief of Sanity. Yeah, we are still in beta, so I should probably go and report that because it's happened both times that I've disconnected today while we were playing a match here. Every time I've mulliganed to closed hand today, we've just been like, get punished. I think I'm actually, like, our lands are super awkward here, but I think I actually want to keep that. This is like a card that can, like, make up for the fact that I've started mulligan to this game. And maybe pull us out of it. Someone asked how I was feeling about this deck so far. I actually kind of like this better than the other builds that we've been playing so far. This build's a little bit more mid-rangey, and it feels good. Like, the thing we've been talking about with the Mardu deck so far is that, like, the other Mardu hero decks are bad aggro decks, but maybe that's just you don't want to build this deck in that way. Maybe this archetype is just better off being a mid-range, more of a mid-range deck with more card advantage in it. Like, Theater dragged us kicking and screaming across the finish line against Esper there. We did beat Esper Control. So I guess at this point I want to mortify this. Probably put a stop on their upkeep here. Watsy hates him. Local troll down discovers weird trick to make standard fun. Oh, it's funny because it's true. Okay. If we draw an untapped land next turn, Heroic Reinforcements is lethal, right? No, so let's talk about my timing there. My timing when I did it was that I wanted them to decide whether or not they wanted to interact with my Mortify before they draw their card for the turn, so they have the least information while deciding there. Did we steal this? I think if they don't have a 2-mana counterspell. Oh, they could have fog. They're gonna have fog. Ugh, fuck, why? Why? My hopes got up so high. It's been a hot second since we played against Nexus. I forgot fog was a thing. I forgot they had 2-mana Time Walk, chat. See, I'm used to take an extra turn costing 7 in this format. I had forgotten about the 2-mana one. I don't really have a change log, Plaid. These are just different individual deck lists that different people have submitted. We're by no means dead at this point, Matt, man. They need a source of card advantage. So, like, if they have Chemister's Insight here, that's very good for them. But, like, at this current point in time, they aren't... At this current point in time, they aren't generating card advantage. Like, even if they start taking extra turns, it's really not doing anything meaningful just yet. They have another root snare? You have the third root snare, or are you dead? Man, am I one short? I think we're one short. Wow, that's brutal. Alright, if we get to untap, they're dead. So, Fog doesn't save them because of the Fireblade Artist. So, go. And again, even if they, oh, you're right. Yeah, I should play the theater so that way a bounce spell doesn't beat me. That's a good catch. So I should play Theater of Horrors because right now they could bounce this and then have a fog. And they could combo from here, but they're by no means guaranteed to, so we're gonna hang out for a second and find out. Shweddy, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here for a quarter of a year. So now with the search for Azcanta, if they take an extra turn here, we're likely dead. So if they take an extra turn with the flipped Azcanta in play, I'm gonna concede. And they missed. And that right there is why the Nexus deck creates such a rancid gameplay experience. Because, like, we just have to sit there just, like, twiddling our thumbs waiting to find out, like, are they dead or do we win? And, like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing something meaningful. It's this very unfulfilling experience finding out, like, I won that game, but I feel bad about it. And, like, anytime you're a player playing your game wins but doesn't feel good about having won, it should make you stop and think, like, oh, is this a good thing? It's as bad as eggs in Modern, I agree. Is Angrath too slow? Is Theater too slow? Do I trim 2 Theaters or 1 Theater, 1 Angrath? Yeah, it feels less like we won and more like they lost, I agree. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trim 1 and 1. I'll leave 2 of these in. This seems fine. And we won from 5 cards that game. Double Mortify. I have so many good 1s and 2s and 3s in my... I'm gonna keep this. They don't combo without enchantments usually, so I think I'm gonna keep Double Mortify. That's true. That's true. They lost from us having 5 cards. Fair. We did just talk about that. For people asking about the Priest in the sideboard, Priest is very good against creature decks that don't have a lot of removal. So it's good against, it's reasonable against Sultai in my experience, and it's very good against Mono Blue. Mono Blue basically never beats that card when it gets active and you have any amount of reasonable creatures. What format is the RPTQ? I don't do enough WotC stuff to know the answer to that question. Standard. There's just a ton of good decks in this format. My current favorite deck is the Temur Domri deck we've been playing. If you want to just play like the best deck in the format, I think white aggro, mono blue, Esper, Sultai, like those 4 are probably like the big ones I would pick from. If you don't have a certain deck that you gravitate towards, I would play one of those 4. Sultai, mono blue, white aggro, or Esper control. Those would be my recommendations to pick from. Hey, we get to Duress plus Judy here. Hydrate Crisis, huh? How do we feel about... I think I take the precog here. I think I'm going to take the precog. I don't think I'm going to make it up for the Legacy CT. Legacy's just a bit of a slog. Yeah, their hand is super stacked. I wonder if I'm supposed to... bring in Priest of the Forgotten Gods here, because it's a way to interact with them. Priest is a way that I can interact with them outside of combat in terms of dealing damage. And it's a way to clean Hydroid Krasis or any other creatures they might sideboard in out of the way. The blue splash is pretty free in white aggro, so I'd probably recommend that. So I elected to trade here with their creature, and then next turn they're probably going to play another Krasis, and I can Mortify that one out of the way. So hopefully we draw a 2 or 3 mana spell next turn, so we can go Mortify plus something else and have a double spell turn. Yeah, their hand was super stacked when we Duress them. Would not be surprised if we lose this game. No, I didn't play the land first because I'm happy if they trade with Tajic. I'd rather have Judy than Tajic in play, so I'm offering them the ability to trade with Tajic. So I gave my opponent a chance to make a play that would make me happy. I can't win the game if they have Krasis in play, chat. I'm a deck that wins by attacking. So yeah, it feels bad that like they have Wilderness Reclamation. I just burned my Mortify, but like I don't have anything else. I don't have a way to actually win the game without taking their creature out of the way. Hider, it's really okay. I don't expect anything at this point. It was just a funny tweet, so I tweeted a funny tweet. We made a funny. I'm gonna bring the priest in. Angrath's an answer to Krasis. That's true. That's true. Maybe that's a reason to have Angrath in my deck. I like that. I've already clicked submit, but you're right. I like that suggestion that I should have Angrath in my deck. Is a good extra reason to have Angrath. I think I mulligan this just because it's just too slow. Too many tap plans. This hand's super reasonable. Let's do it. It'd be a little bit better on the draw because we'd be able to play the 1-drop on one, but I think that 1-drop's worth keeping. And then Priest will help us get set up here that if they do have a blocker, we'll be in an okay spot. Why not take 2 to play your 1-drop on 1? Because I was on the play and it was on the top of my deck to run. Also, this hand's a good example of how much different things would be with the new London Mulligan, right? Like, under the London Mulligan, I would have had the Footlight Fiend in my hand in this opener instead of being on top of my deck. So my draw this game would be a lot more aggressive if we were playing with the London Mulligan rules. Yeah, I think Kaya is just good in general. I think she's good in most decks that can cast her. I think I just keep smashing here, like, whew, beep, beep. So I assume we're getting fogged here. because they're dead otherwise. Oh, or they're just dead. Sure, yeah. Yeah. Sir Phil, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Subs like that are, they're what keep me employed. They're what keep me here. This stream is sponsored by viewers like you. So thanks for keeping me around. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday and a good start to your weekend. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a little over 2,000 people in here. Y'all rock. Thanks for being here. We're going to play one more match with this deck. We've got good numbers. Should we be done after this or should we play one more? What do we think? Should we play one more? I need the PB Jeff line. The PB Jeff line is a really good one. Man, these memorials have been a touch awkward. I think I'm gonna bottom that looking for a 2-drop or a land. So I'm gonna play Isolated Chapel on 1 here, and the reason for this is, well, thanks for the support, Phil. The reason for the Isolated Chapel on 1 is because this way, if I draw any untapped land next turn that doesn't make white mana, I can play Hero on 2. So this means any untapped land lets me play Hero next turn. And in the event that I don't draw an untapped land, I can just play Folly and Footlight Fiend still on curve. We did activate Memorial to a reasonable effect one time. I'm not sure that it's worth its inclusion, but we did use it once so far today. It's mono Temples of Tilt here. Like we're solidly into garbage time here. You think Is It Phoenix is a real deck? Yeah, definitely. Is It Phoenix is one of the dozen or so decks that I think are very reasonable in this format. Consecrate Consume seems sweet here. Kill a big Drake or exile a Phoenix from the bin. But Bedevil seems reasonable. Elenda just gets tagged by Lava Coils. That's probably not very good. I don't think this is a Theater of Horrors matchup. I think they're gonna be a little bit too aggressive for us to really leverage that card successfully. It's possible this is a Priest of the Forgotten Gods matchup, but maybe we don't go wide enough for that. I don't think Duress is very good either, because the one thing to be aware of is that the Phoenix deck versus the straight blue-red Drake's deck tends to have less counter magic in it post-board. So there's a lot of spell pierces and stuff like that that make things like Duress better against the Drake's deck, but the Phoenix builds tend to not have those things. And like, obviously, someone could deviate from the list that like LSV popularized and play those things, but I think on average, I expect less counter magic out of the Phoenix builds than the Drake's builds. The Phoenix builds kind of incentivize you to be more proactive. I'm gonna put in one Priest. I don't think I want these other cards. I keep saying Elenda. It's Elenda Dusk Rose. This hand has untapped lands. Yeah, I think Judy into Heroic is fine on the play. I think I want to mortify this. I think it's worth killing this before it gets to do stuff. And then we'll go tapped land Judy into heroic on 5 and whatever. Oh, huh. So Hero kind of makes me want to go heroic this turn, and then I can play Hero into Judy next turn. I think that's what I want to do. This is better against spot removal too. It gets some pressure going. It hits them for 4 this turn. Hits them for 4 next turn. Uses my mana very efficiently. There goes a Phoenix. And then, like, the following turn, so, like, I'm going to put Hero Judy into play next turn, and then hopefully they'll have to pick between killing one or the other. Hopefully they can't kill both. If they can't flip Phoenix back into play here, we're going to be ahead in a big way, and they just bottoms up, so hopefully they're missing. Hopefully they don't have another 1-mana spell. That's fantastic for us. So we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. So if they kill Judy but not Hero, so we just don't want both of our creatures to die this turn. We want to untap with at least one of these. There is a good chance they kill both. They have a lot of removal in their deck. They have Shocks and Lava Coils. Even if they do kill both of these, we get to Heroic Reinforcements and attack for 10 next turn. So that means if they leave a Phoenix back on defense, they're still going to take 8 and go to 4. Just Bacon Bolt on Judy. I don't think that's good enough. Especially because they don't get a bird back, right? So that makes this lethal. Beep, beep. Dunk, 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 dunk. Close to the next badge. Thanks for the biddies, Crit Fall. I appreciate it. Lava Coil's a fine card. Yeah, it's possible that Lava Coil's good. So, like, we'll do a full wrap on this in a hot second once we finish. But, like, so far, like, some of my takeaways are, like, this card is just too cute and not good. I continue to be underwhelmed by Elenda the Dusk Rose. Like, the animation is sweet, but the actual card isn't very good. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to play Consecrate here or not. I'm probably supposed to just try and hit a land here, which sucks. I guess I get to exile the Bacon Bolt, which is not unreasonable. I like get some value out of it. just like not all mist. They're down to 4 cards in hand. It'll be interesting to see if they keep attacking with this bird or decide to hold it back on defense. Wonder if they have a shock here or not. So do I want a Judy or do I want a Tajic? I think I want a Judith first. This gets in more ultimate damage this turn. A lot of the sweeper decks in this format have Cry of the Canarium in them, which makes what's it called, not particularly great against them. It might just be dead here. See, depends on what their last card is. So if they have like a bird plus a shock or 2 shocks, I guess we're dead. If they have, we're dead to another Phoenix plus them having spells to get it back. Okay, so that's not a Phoenix into the bin. All right, so dead to shock here. Yep, good game. Opponent, close game. Yeah, we stumbled a little bit. Stumbled a little bit there, but maybe I could have used my removal a little bit more defensively. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, it's tough to say, like, we win if we're not mana screwed, right? Because, like, if we're not mana screwed, then we have less spells. So, like, obviously our hand with all spells looks good, and it looks like we would win if we could cast them. But, like, if we can cast everything, then we have less spells, we have less decisions. All things considered, I liked this build of Mardu Hero that was a little bit more mid-rangey. Notably, the main deck Theater of Horrors punched the clock and went to work against Esper Control and in a couple other places. The other thing that continues to highlight for me with Hero of Precinct One is that 4x copies of Heroic Reinforcements, I think, is probably just a must in this archetype. This card, if you're playing it with Hero, just lets you steal so many games, and just like the Hero Judy heroic curve is so incredibly powerful, it's unreal. It just steals you so many games that you have no business winning, that I think it's, if you're playing Mardu and you're not playing 4 of each of these cards, I think you're missing out. Elenda the Dusk Rose is a card that I continue to be underwhelmed and unimpressed by. It's just not, it's not a card that ever seems reasonable. It's good in places that I think you're basically already winning a lot of the time. Like, it's okay in the mid-range matchups, but it also struggles in those matchups against cards like Vraska's Contempt and Hostage Taker. So, like, you do set up to make this card work, and then it just, like, ends up not doing a whole lot. As far as the sideboard is concerned, Gara is probably just some hot nonsense. Priest of the Forgotten Gods, I like having access to this card. I could see maybe not starting all of them in the main. Like, this card is medium against some of the control matchups, but I do really like it against decks like Mono Blue, where they're very creature-based and have little removal. And maybe, like, these Elendra slots could turn into something like that. I think, regardless of how you build this deck, this is probably one of the few decks in the format that just, like, has a bad Sultai matchup, regardless of how you build it. So, I think that's probably the place you're just going to struggle regardless of what you do, kind of. At any rate, I'm actually going to go ahead and be done for the day. I thought maybe I would do one more, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. There's no major Magic tournaments going on this weekend, so I'm either going to stream all day tomorrow or all day Sunday. I just need to confer with my boss to confirm which of the 2 days she would prefer I do that. So thanks everyone for watching. Remember, if you want to see more content from myself, you can head on over to my website or my YouTube channel and find tons of standard videos from there. Something that I do like to plug that some people may or may not be aware of. I know a lot of people can't watch all of my content, but if you haven't been to my website before, every single day I do tag my favorite leagues each day. So for instance, yesterday we had played Sultai Super Friends and Abzan Hero. If you like Hero of the Precinct One, I definitely recommend go watching this one if you missed it. This build was really sweet. And you can find all of my favorite videos for every single day up there. I'll catch all y'all around later, and I'll see you this weekend at some point. So thanks for watching, and peace.